We'll start in child's pose. Bring your forehead to your mat, sit your hips back by your heels, and everything else you do with this pose is completely up to you. Your arms can be out long in front of you with your palms face down, back by your hips with your palms face up. You can also bring your knees together to create a little bit of a shelf for your upper body, or bring your knees apart and let your torso sink a little bit further to the ground. There's nothing else to do, there's nowhere to be right now. And anything else that might be going on, whether that's outside in the world or inside your mind, you can just let all of that go for the next hour. Instead, bring your focus and your awareness to your breath. We breathe close to 1,000 times every hour throughout the day, but we're rarely ever aware of what's going on with it, unless you start holding your breath, and then you might notice a tightness or burning in your lungs. And it can feel really good to press out all of that air, get rid of the stale air that's building up in your lungs, breathe in fresh oxygen, and then maybe take an audible breath. So a breath you can hear, which is also a breath that you can feel. We do that a lot throughout class, so we'll start with one right now. Wherever you are in your breath cycle, press out all of your air. Inhale, fill your lungs from the bottom all the way up to the top. Open your mouth, exhale, H-A. Sounds great. We'll take several of those throughout class, but feel free at any time to take them whenever the need calls for you. Anytime you want to release some heat or tension that's built up, these breaths are always available to you. This child's pose is also available anytime you feel like you need to take a step back or take a break, or if a pose just gets a little bit too intense, you can always return to this child's pose anytime you want. And anything I say for the next hour is simply a suggestion of movement. It's an invitation. So you can take everything or you can leave some stuff out. It's totally up to you. We'll take one more of those breaths. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, take a deep, full breath. Expand your ribs. Exhale, H-M. Start to bring a little bit of motion to your child's pose. You can wiggle your fingers, maybe rock your head side to side, massage out your forehead. Maybe let that motion travel down your spine to your hips. You can wiggle your toes, maybe come up out of your child's pose just a little bit, take some pressure off of your heels. And on your next inhale, shift your weight forward into a tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, stack your hips over your knees, spread your fingers really wide and press down into the entire surface area of both hands. Draw your belly up and in to engage your core and really press down into the tops of your feet for stability. Inhale to lift your head, lift your tailbone, drop your belly, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, draw your belly up and in, cat pose. Inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, cow. Exhale, round your spine, really draw it up towards the ceiling, cat pose. Continue moving through these cat-cow tilts at the pace of your own breath. Maybe even taking some free organic movement. It could be rolling your head around, maybe shifting your hips side to side. Just kind of warming up the spine at first. Notice any places that might need a little extra attention. You can send some breath there. Slowly return to a neutral tabletop. Bring your gaze just in front of your fingertips. Inhale to reach your right hand forward like you're going to shake somebody's hand. Send your left leg back, spinal balancing. Lift your left heel in line with your left hip. Roll your left hip down to keep both hips and shoulders in one line. Take another inhale, reach a little bit further. Exhale, elbow to knee. Bring your right elbow in towards your left knee. Draw your belly up and in. Inhale to extend long. Exhale, crunch in, elbow to knee. Really draw your belly up high. Inhale, reach long, one last time. Exhale, all fours. Inhale, this time send your left hand forward, right leg back. You can point or flex your back toes, just pick one and stick to it. Press your right hand into the mat to lift out of your right shoulder. Take one more inhale, reach long. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in. Engage your core. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. You draw your knee up towards your belly. Inhale, reach a little long. Exhale, return to all fours. Move through a few more cat-cow tilts at the pace of your own breath. See if you can get the breath to match your movement, so that you arrive in cow pose at the top of your inhale and cat pose at the bottom of your exhale. The next time you make it to cat pose, curl your toes underneath you, send your hips up and back for your first downward dog. In this first one, you can just move it around, maybe lift an arm, lift a leg, come onto your tippy toes. You can also just shake your head around. Just still in the warm-up phase, notice any places that may feel tight or sticky. Slowly start to find some stillness. We'll clean up the shape just a little bit. Glance forward at your hands, bring them about shoulder width apart. That might mean bringing your pinkies all the way to the edge of your mat so they're almost coming off the edge. Wrap your armpits towards each other to separate your shoulder blades on your back and draw the tops of your shoulders away from the bottom of your ears. Let your head hang heavy, glance back at your feet. Bring them about hips width apart, maybe even a little bit wider. And let your heels disappear behind your toes. Your feet may or may not touch the ground. That's really not the intention here. The intention is for a long, flat spine. And you can help that out by bending your knees a whole lot, tilting your hips towards the ceiling, and then slowly start to straighten into your legs just a little bit. Inhale, send your right leg long behind you. Press into your right hand and feel for a lengthening all along right side body. And inhale, lift your leg a little bit taller, bend your knee, exhale, roll your hip open, and take whatever free movement you want on this side. It could be just wiggling your toes, maybe rolling your ankle around. You can also make some bigger circles with your knee. And shift forward to almost a plank position just to build up some heat in your core. Take one more inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted, keep your left hand planted, and inhale, reach your right hand up towards the ceiling for a gentle twist. Feel for drawing your right hip down and in, lifting your left hip up and forward to keep the twist in your spine. And also feel for stacking your right shoulder over your left. Take one more inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, plant your right hand down. Step your right foot back to the top of the push-up or a high plank. And pause for a moment. Draw your belly up and in. Lift your hips up in line with your shoulders. Press away from your mat. Let your shoulder blades separate on your back. Point the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Send your heels towards the back. Take one more inhale to press away. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up just halfway. You can point or flex your toes. We're going for extension rather than height at first. And inhale, lift it a little bit higher. Bend your knee, roll your hip open. Take whatever free movement you want on this side. You might do something similar to the right. You might do something totally different. You're not bound by whatever you did on the right. So maybe left side wants something a little bit different. It's often said that we look pretty identical on both sides, but we use our bodies in totally different ways. Take one more inhale, send your right or left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Keep your right heel lifted. And inhale, lift your left hand up towards the ceiling for another twist. Feel for pressing your right elbow towards your left knee. Roll your shoulder back just a little bit. Keep your back leg strong. And bring your gaze up towards your top hand if that's accessible for you. If not, you can glance forward or even down towards the ground. Take one more inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, plant your left hand down, step your left leg back to the top of a push-up, and pause once again. Feel for a strong plank. You can also bring your knees down to take some of the stress out of your arms. It's a great way to help build up arm strength without overstraining yourself. Take one more inhale to press away. Exhale, downward dog. Take one more collective breath. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, balloon your lungs. Take a deep, full breath. Exhale, H-A. Inhale, soften your knees, glance forward at your hands, and take a walk towards the front of your mat, bringing your toes in line with your fingertips. You can bend your knees a whole lot here. You don't have to reach the ground. The main goal here is just to feel really heavy through your upper body. So you can try out a couple of options, maybe interlace your fingers at the base of your skull, or grab hold of opposite elbows, find a sway side to side. If you want a slightly deeper shoulder stretch, you can also interlace your fingers behind your low back and let your hands hang overhead. Neither of these is better than the others. Do whatever feels good. This can be a really deep hamstring stretch, but it's more of a back stretch or a relaxed pose. Slowly return to a neutral forward fold. Glance down at your feet, measure out about hips width distance between them. It's usually 2 fists side by side between your inner arches, maybe even a little bit wider if you have tight hips. Point all of your toes towards the front of the room. Inhale to come up just halfway. Press your hands into your shins or your thighs. Draw your shoulder blades down your back and together for half lift. Tuck your chin slightly to lengthen the sides of your neck. And rock your weight slightly into the balls of your feet so that your hips can stack over your ankles. Take one more inhale, reach the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Exhale, release down, forward fold. Inhale to rise up to standing. Bring your biceps next to your ears, mountain pose. And for this first one, just try closing your eyes. Standing upright is another thing, just like breathing, that we do a whole lot throughout the day, but we're really not aware of what's going on. So with your eyes closed, notice your breath first of all. Notice all the points of contact between you and the floor. See if you can feel really rooted through both feet. You can also draw up on your kneecaps to engage your quads. As you send your tailbone down towards the ground, lift your front hip points up towards your lowest ribs. So it's sort of a shortening through the front, engaging your core, and a lengthening through your low back. Let your shoulders fall away from your ears. You can help this by rotating your pinkies a little bit in towards each other. Straighten into your elbows, reach up through your fingertips. If your eyes were closed, flutter them open. Take an inhale to look up, reach up, maybe take a slight back bend. Exhale all the way back down, forward fold. Inhale for half lift, draw your shoulder blades together, flat spine. Exhale, plant your hands down, step your feet back to the top of the push-up. You've been here already. Remember, you always have your knees there if you need them. We're going to set up for our flow, which will connect all of our sequences for the rest of the class together. Take an inhale, shift your weight 2 inches forward. Exhale, lower down halfway, keeping your elbows glued in towards your sides. Inhale, press your chest forward and up. Draw your shoulder blades together. Come onto the tops of your feet, upward dog. And exhale, curl your toes underneath you. Send your hips up and back, downward dog. So these 4 poses are our flow. We're going to do it a whole lot throughout class. From now on, it's going to be at the pace of your own breath. We'll move through that salutation a little more swiftly now. Inhale, soften your knees, walk, hop, or float to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, this time rise up and past your mountain pose. Take out the pause at the top. When your exhale arrives, let that carry you back down your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop your feet back, travel through your flow. And once you make it to down dog, it's all yours. Take the sequence one more time, all on your own breath. You can move as fast or as slow as you want. You don't have to worry so much about how the pose looks or how fast or slow you're going. If you're breathing fast, you can move more quickly. And if your breathing is kind of slow, kind of methodical, you can breathe a little more slowly as you go through this. Once you get to down dog, keep it active if you're there already. Just press into your hands, send your hips. If it is available, we'll take another breath. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, expand your ribcage. Exhale, H-A. Inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Swivel your left heel down to the mat. And inhale, rise up to warrior one. So similar upper body to the mountain pose, lower body is more of a lunge. And if it feels like your hips are kind of tight, you can walk your right foot a little bit more to the right so that your front heel is in line with your back heel. Maybe even hips width apart. So make your feet as wide as they need to give your hips some space. Sit deep into your lunge, stacking your right knee over your right ankle. Engage your core, send your tailbone down, send your shoulders away from your ears. Take one more inhale wherever you are, reach tall. Exhale, warrior two, bring your right hand forward, send your left leg back. It can be really helpful here to take a slightly longer stance if that works with your body. You can also walk your right foot a little more to the left so that it's in line with your back arch. If your front knee wanted to follow your upper body and kind of sway inwards, you can just press it towards the outer edge of your right foot, just to keep it stacked directly over your front ankle. Take one more inhale to reach away from your midline. Exhale, cartwheel your hands back down, step your right foot back, travel through your flow. Inhale, reach your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Staple your right heel down to the mat this time. Inhale, rise up, warrior one, second side. You might notice this side feels a little bit different, so make whatever adjustments you need to your low body. You can try angling your back toes a little bit more towards the front of the room, just to let your right hip come a little bit more forward, so that maybe one day both hips and shoulders can square off towards the front of the room, or TV, or whatever you have in front of you. Let your shoulders settle down your back once again. Sit deep into your front knee. Take one more inhale, lift out of your waist. Exhale, warrior two. You can readjust your low body as needed. Bring your wrists and elbows in line with your shoulders. Reach wide through your fingertips. You can bring your gaze to your left hand or to just kind of looking in front of you if that's okay for your neck. Take one more inhale, sit a little bit deeper. Exhale, cartwheel your hands back down. Step your left foot back. Take your flow. Once you get to down dog, it's all yours. Take this sequence on both sides. One breath, one movement. Take warrior one, warrior two on the right and the left. Each with a flow in between. This is what I call the choose your adventure part of class, where you can just kind of make the practice your own without worrying about what it looks like, if your poses or your alignment is perfect. This is your opportunity to really move with your own breath and really make the practice your own. So if that means taking something out or maybe modifying a posture to make it a little bit more comfortable, or even returning to a child's pose, if that's what your body is calling for you, you can totally do that. After you've gone one time through on each side, we'll meet up in a downward dog. If it is available to you, exhale all of your air. Inhale, take a deep breath. Exhale, H-A. Soften your knees, glance forward, walk or hop your feet up to the front of your mat. Forward fold, hang really heavy. This is a resting pose like I mentioned before, so don't waste it. Get as relaxed as you need to, get as heavy as you need to. Inhale, press your palms into your shins or your thighs, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit into the world's most uncomfortable chair, hips low, arms up, chair pose. This is a very active pose, so you might feel your quads firing up, you might feel your glutes firing up, all of the muscles involved in just kind of keeping you upright here. Feel for sending your hips back a little bit so that your knees might stack over your ankles. If your toes feel like they're coming up off the ground, you could just gently press them down towards the floor. Tuck your tailbone a little bit, engage your core to protect your low back. Take one more inhale, sit 1 inch lower. Exhale, release, forward fold. From your forward fold, bend deeply into your right knee. Plant your right hand down in between your big toes and inhale your left hand up overhead for another twist. You can bend as much as you need to into your right knee to bring your right hand down to the ground. And if that's a little bit far away, you can tuck up onto your fingertips or even place your hands on whatever's available. So if you have a block at home or if you have a water bottle, really anything you can prop your hand up, that's fine. If you want to stay here, stay here. If you want to take it into a half bind, bring your left hand around your low back, reaching for the top of your right thigh. And if you want to go even further, you can try for a full bind, reaching your right hand underneath your right thigh, grabbing for opposite hands or fingertips or whatever you have available. Wherever you are, inhale to open up towards the side. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, hips low, arms up. Maybe sit a little bit lower. Maybe try to find a place of balance here. If it feels like you're going to fall backwards, you can always bring your hands a little bit lower in front of you for the counterbalance. And yeah, if you want to take any kind of breath to take your mind off of what's going on with your legs, you can flutter your lips or take an audible HA or HM. Take one more inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, release, forward fold. This time bend deeply into your left knee. Plant your left hand down in between your big toes and inhale your right hand up towards the ceiling. Feel for leaning your chest back so your left or right shoulder can stack over your left. Bend really deeply into your left knee. You might feel a really intense stretch all along your right side hip. And if it's still too intense or you want to take the stretch out a little bit, you can also bend your knee a little bit. You can also go for the half bind or even the full bind on this side if that feels accessible. If not, you can totally leave it out. If all you can do is the half bind or even just stay in the twist, that is totally enough. Take one more inhale wherever you are. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Hang really heavy. Bend your knees as much as you need to because we're not quite done with chair pose yet. Inhale, sit your hips low, arms up. Last chair pose of the day, make it count. Make it your best one yet. You can, if this feels too easy, you can also make it a little bit more challenging. Start to feel your heels up off of the ground, come onto the balls of your feet. It's helpful to pick a spot in front of you that's not moving. And if that feels like enough, stay here. If you want to make it even more challenging for your balance, close your eyes. Take one more inhale, sit a little lower. Exhale, release, forward fold. Let that go, shake out your legs, take a deep breath. No more chair pose, I promise. Inhale, halfway lift, realign your spine after all that twisting. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back, travel through your flow. Inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, step in between your hands. We'll build on the sequence we did before, so breathe your way up through Warrior 1. We'll meet into Warrior 2 on the right side. Right leg forward, facing left. Keep your lower body exactly where it is. Bring your gaze over your right hand. Flip your right palm up to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach your torso forward. Exhale, reach up and just a little bit back, like you're gonna high five the back wall. So this pose is more of a side stretch rather than a back bend. So feel for keeping your shoulders in line with your hips. And your left hand can come to your left shin or left thigh. Maybe not press it onto your left knee because that's kind of a sensitive joint. You can bring your gaze up to your right shoulder or the inner part of your right arm, or bring it down to your left hand, whatever feels more accessible. Take one more inhale, reach a little bit higher. Exhale, bring both hands down, step your right foot back, and pause. Bring your feet together to touch behind you. Roll over onto the outer edge of your left foot and reach your right hand up overhead for a side plank. Feel for bumping your left hip up towards your right. If this feels like enough, you can stay here. If you want a little more support, you can also bring your left knee down or even like kickstand your leg for a little bit more balance. You can make it more challenging by floating your right leg up off of your left or taking any variation that feels good. Take one more inhale, reach a little taller. Exhale, come back to center. Regular plank. Inhale, press your mat away. Exhale, travel through your flow. Do the same thing, second side. Inhale, reach your left leg tall. Exhale, step in between your hands. Breathe your way up through Warrior 1. We'll meet in a Warrior 2 on this side. Make whatever adjustments you need to your low body. Try to keep your foundation exactly where it is. Flip your left palm up to face the ceiling. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse warrior. Reach up, 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 just a little bit back. You can take the same hand placement or a different one that you want on this side. If you're going for a bind, wrap your right hand around your low back. Feel for pressing into the top of your left thigh and use that contact to press your left thigh bone away from your right hip. Take one more inhale, reach a little further. Exhale, bring both hands down. Step your left foot back and flow. Oop, don't flow. Come back to a regular plank. Bring your feet together. Pause. Roll over onto the outer edge of your right foot. Lift your left hand up overhead, side plank. You can take whatever variation you want on this side to make it more accessible or more challenging, whatever you choose to do. Feel free to lifting out of your right shoulder. Take one more inhale, reach tall. Exhale, return to your center plank. Inhale, press away. Exhale, this time flow. Okay, once you make it to down dog, take this sequence all on your own. One breath, one movement. Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and reverse warrior. All at the pace of your own breath. This is our last and longest one breath, one movement class. So you can try something new. Maybe close your eyes if you're used to doing this with your eyes open. There's really nothing to see around you. There's nothing to pay attention to besides what's going on in your body. If you want to leave the side plank in there, you can leave it in there and make the practice a little more challenging. If you want to leave it out, you can totally leave it out. And if child's pose is calling you, you can take a child's pose whenever you like. In fact, you can do this entire practice in child's pose, and as long as you are breathing with intention and attention, you're alive, number one. And number two, you're still doing yoga. We do a lot of these poses, and it can be very physically challenging, but it's really the breath that is your driving force, that is the main ingredient for your practice. Kind of like sushi, or rice is the main ingredient in sushi, your breath is the main ingredient in your yes. Once you make it to down dog, if it's available, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep, full breath. Exhale, H-A. Inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, step in between your hands. Breathe your way up to warrior two once again. We'll go somewhere a little bit different. Make any adjustments you need to your stance. Take an inhale, reach wide. Exhale, side angle. Bring your right hand down to the inside of your right foot. Reach your left hand up overhead. And if the ground's a little far away today, you can just tent up onto your fingertips. Maybe bring your hand to a block or a water bottle. You can also bring your right forearm to the top of your right thigh for a little bit of a different pose and some more stability. Either one is different than the other. Take another inhale, reach up out of your left hand. Exhale, bend your left elbow around your low back. Go for a half bind. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to take it a little bit further, bring your right hand underneath your right thigh. Go for a full bind, reaching for opposite fingertips or your opposite hand. Take one more inhale, open out towards the ceiling. Exhale, return to side angle. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Straighten into your front leg. So we're in triangle pose with both legs straight. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle. Bring your right hand down to your right shin or right thigh. If you have the flexibility, you can bring your right hand down to your right big toe. Feel for stacking the left shoulder over your right and rolling your left hip up and back so that your hips and shoulders can stay square towards the, or stay in line with one another. Take one more inhale, reach out of your left shoulder. Exhale, bring both hands down to frame your right foot. Step your left foot forward about 6 to 8 inches, maybe even more, so that you can turn both feet towards the front of the room. And keep both heels on the ground for pyramid pose. Let your upper body hang over your front knee. You can keep a slight micro bend in your front leg to avoid hyperextending it. Take an inhale for a mini half lift. Glance forward, draw your shoulders together. Exhale, plant your hands back down. Step your right foot back. Travel through your flow. Inhale, send your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Breathe your way up to warrior two on this side. Take an inhale, reach out of your midline. Exhale, side angle, bring your left hand down, right hand up. And feel for leaning your chest back to make this almost like a slight back bend. You want to really open up through your front side body. You can bring your gaze to your top hand or bring it forward or even down, whatever feels good on your neck. Take another inhale, reach up through your right fingertips. Exhale, bend your right elbow around your low back for a half bind. You can stay here or you can go for the full bind, whatever feels good. If this full bind restricts your breathing, definitely come out of it and just go for the half bind. Take one more inhale to twist open. Exhale, release your bind if you are in it. Inhale, rise back up to warrior two. Straighten into your front leg. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Feel for rolling right hip back, left hip forward. It's almost as if you're pressing your body in between two panes of glass. Gaze can be up or to the side or even down. Take one more inhale, reach tall. Exhale, bring both hands down to frame your left foot. Step your right foot forward a couple inches. Point all 10 toes towards the front. Maybe separate your feet a little bit to give your hips a little more space. And let your upper body hang over your front knee, keeping that slight micro bend if that works for you. Take one more inhale, glance forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back, take your flow. There's no one breath, one movement for that. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Shh. Inhale, breathe deep, expand your lungs. Exhale, HA. Soften your knees, glance forward, walk, hop, or float to the front of your mat. Forward fold, hang heavy. This time, heel toe your feet together so that your toes, knees, thighs, everything is zipped up into one line. Inhale for your half lift. Might feel a little bit different having a smaller base. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, thunderbolts. Your hips low, reach your arms up, press your palms together, especially through the index or the pinky side edge. You can wrap your thumbs around each other if that helps you keep the bind in your hands. You know, I promised no more chair pose. Technically, this is a chair. Sit your hips down and back. If your shoulders are feeling a little tight, you can also bring your hands a little bit lower. This will help with balance and your shoulders, or your ability to keep your hands together. Inhale, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands down to heart center. Inhale, roll your shoulders down your back. Exhale, hinge forward, twist towards the right, hooking your right or left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And draw your left knee or left hip back in space to keep your knees in line with each other. You can glance down at your knees and see if they're back in line. Yeah, roll your right or left hip back. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. If you want to go for a flyaway, bring your left hand down, reach your right hand up. If you want to try for a bind, if that feels accessible, you can do that. If not, you can stay wherever you are in your twist. If you were in the bind or half bind or full bind, bring your hands back together. Take another inhale to twist. Exhale, return to center, stay low, stay strong. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinge forward, twist to the left, bringing right elbow to the outside of your right knee. Press your left palm into your right and draw your center chest or the sternum towards your thumbs. Draw your right hip back in space. If the flyaway feels accessible here, you can try that. If you want to try for a bind, that's totally up to you. Wherever you are, take an inhale to twist a little more. Exhale, return to center, stay low, stay strong. We're not done yet. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, we're done. Release, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step up, hop your feet back, and pause. We're going to do some push-ups here. Again, you can bring your knees down. Any variation you want to take is totally up to you. Take an inhale, press your mat away. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower down 2/3 of the way. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, lower down, hover just an inch or two off the mat. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, travel through your flow. Inhale, reach your right leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. This time, keep your back heel lifted. Walk your right foot an inch or two to the right, maybe even more. Inhale, crescent lunge. Bring your arms up overhead. Just like the Warrior One, except on a slightly trickier base. You might wobble a little bit or even fall out. That is totally okay. It's just yoga. Feel for scissoring your legs together for stability. Inhale, reach out of your fingertips. Exhale, bring your left hand forward, right hand back, open arm twist. Feel for drawing your shoulders above your hips. And you can bring your gaze to your back hand if that feels accessible, if your balance is with you. Take one more inhale and reach. Exhale, bring your left hand down, left heel down. Come into a revolved side angle. Step your left foot forward as much as you need to keep both heels on the ground. So it's another twist. Feel for bringing your left shoulder towards your right knee. Reach up through your fingertips. Take one more inhale, reach tall. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Step your right foot back. Travel through your flow. Inhale, your left leg tall. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Keep your back heel lifted. Walk your right foot a little bit more to the right. Inhale, rise up, crescent lunge, second side. We use our bodies in totally different ways, but we also have different abilities to balance on each side. Maybe even throughout the day, you feel your balance is a little bit different. So again, if it wobbles, you can kind of adjust it however you need. Inhale, reach through your fingers. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm forward, left arm back. Open arm twist. You can bring your arms as wide as you can. Or bring your gaze to your back hand if that feels okay. Take one more inhale to twist. Exhale, bring your right hand down, right heel down, revolved side angle. Yeah, step your back foot forward a couple inches if that feels helpful. Feel for keeping your hips in line. Feel for keeping your hips in line with each other. Yeah, like I said, if you fall out, that's totally okay. You can just get right back into it. Take one more inhale, reach tall, lift out of your right shoulder. Exhale, clench your left hand down. Step your left foot back and flow. If it's available, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale, deep breath. Exhale, HA. Inhale, reach your right leg tall, bend your right knee, roll your right hip open, and exhale, bring it forward for half pigeon. Bring your right knee a little bit wider than your right hip, send your right foot off to the left side of your mat. If you can't get your shin parallel to the front of your mat, that's totally okay, whatever feels comfortable. Take a moment to sit up tall, let your hips naturally sink down into the mat. And as you're ready, slowly begin to spill forward, coming down to rest on either your mat, or you can make a pillow out of your hands, or if you have a regular pillow accessible to you, that's totally okay. This is a very down-regulating pose. It's a moment where you can find some stillness, some rest in your practice. You might notice really long or really deep stretch in your right outer hip, which is totally good. If you notice any pain, especially in your right knee, you can flip over onto your back and do a similar figure 4 stretch on your back, just to keep the same stretch without hurting your knees. In these times of stillness, or these poses where you're finding stillness, it can be a little bit hard. Physically, you might notice that you're fidgeting, or you have a bead of sweat that you really just want to wipe off. You might notice that since your mind was focused on all this movement and all this breathing, that your mind's going a million miles a minute. If that happens, that's totally okay. You can bring yourself back to the present just by bringing your focus to your breath. Thinking, now I inhale, now I exhale. If it is available, exhale all of your air. Inhale, expand your lungs, feel for a stretch all through your right hip. Exhale, HM. Take 2 or 3 more deep, full breaths on the side. And as you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way out of pigeon. Maybe you want to travel through a flow, or just go straight back to downward dog. The choice is totally up to you. Once you make it to down dog, however you choose to get there, know that left side pigeon is totally ready for you, so you can make your way there just as gradually as you did on the right, however long it takes. Once again, set up for the pose, let your left or right leg go long, press into the top of your right foot. Sit up tall, and as you're ready, slowly start to spill forward into pigeon on the side. You've already had some practice on the right, so this time maybe bring your focus to your breath once again. Really focus on your inhales, your exhales. You might start to slow down your breathing a little bit, which can help slow down your heart rate. Maybe even take a ujjayi breath, a slight constriction of the back of your throat. It's one way to kind of not completely tune out the outside world, but to draw your senses inwards. Focus on what's going on. Yeah, good breath. Once again, exhale all of your air. Inhale, balloon your left hip this time. And exhale, HM. Slowly begin to press your way out of pigeon on this side. You have the option to take one final flow of class, or just go straight back to down dog, whatever feels good. Once you do make it there, however you make it there, take the same kind of free diagnostic move that you did at the start of class. You might notice your body is a bit more warmed up now. You might notice you're a bit sweatier. You're feeling strong, having all of the, or feeling more positive, having all the endorphins moving through your body. Slowly return to a still down dog. Inhale to shift your weight forward into a high plank. Inhale, press your mat away. Exhale to slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Resist gravity as you do come to fully lying all the way on your belly. Bring your hands back by your hips, palms face down. Send your toes long, bring your chin to the center of your mat. Zip up your legs behind you so that your toes, knees, thighs, everything is pressed into center. Exhale to really press your hips down into the mat. Use that as an anchor point. And inhale, lift your arms, lift your legs for locust pose. Feel for squeezing your pinkies more towards each other. Let your shoulder blades come closer to one another. Bring your gaze either in front of you or start to look upwards to bring your upper body a little bit more off the ground. Take one more inhale to lift one more rib off the mat. Exhale, come down to your mat. Bring your left ear to the ground. Let your heels spill open. Flip your palms over so that they're facing upwards. And focus on your breath. Maybe even bring your breath to your low belly to release your low back. That is kind of a deep back bend. Keep your hands where they are. Just flip them once again so your palms are face down. Zip your legs up once again behind you. Exhale to press your hips into your mat. Inhale, locust pose once again. You can take the same pose you want. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, start to bring your hands closer to one another. Then you can bend your elbows and interlace your fingers behind your low back, coming into a bound locust pose. It might be easier to bring your shoulders up off the ground, so see if you can lift your legs 1 inch higher and really press your heels towards each other to protect your low back. Take one more inhale to lift taller. Exhale, come back down. Bring your right ear to the mat this time. Let your heels spill open. Maybe even bring your or bend your elbows out to the sides. This will help relax your shoulders a little bit more. You can also shake your hips side to side to release your low back, or even bend your knees and kind of windshield wiper your legs back and forth. It's a great way to release your low back. Send your legs long behind you. Slowly bring your hands up underneath your shoulders And press yourself up to sitting on your knees. After all that back bending, sitting up tall, whatever, actually you can sit on your knees or find whatever comfortable seated position you want. Go for lifting up through the crown of your head, maybe close your eyes. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs, palms face up or down. You can also bring your hands to heart center if that's calling to you. Take a moment to thank yourself for taking an hour out of your day, whether you're working from home or just sort of self-quarantining, watching Netflix, whatever you're doing. You're taking some time out to give yourself some space, to give yourself some exercise, move around a little bit. More importantly, help relieve maybe some of the stress that you might be having. If your eyes are closed, flutter them open. Sit your hips to one side and bring your legs out long in front of you. For us, we're going to set up for a seated forward fold. Walk your hips back a little bit so that your sit bones can really root down into the ground. Flex your toes towards your face. Take an inhale to reach up through your fingertips. Keep your butt and keep your back flat, or keep your spine long as you slowly hinge at your hips, reaching towards your toes, coming into a forward fold. If your toes don't feel too accessible, you can also grab hold of your ankles. You can also bend your knees to put more of the stretch in your low back. With every inhale, feel for reaching the crown of your head long. With every exhale, maybe sit a little bit deeper into the space you've just created. Take one more inhale, reach forward. Exhale to slowly come up out of it, bringing your head and neck up last. Move as slowly as you want to. Once you make it to the top, maybe roll your head around a little bit, loosen up your neck. And if your hips aren't already in the center of the mat, you can scoop them forward or back, however they need to get there. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the ground. Bring your hands out long in front of you, with your palms facing each other, thumbs facing up, and rock your weight back into your sacrum. That's kind of the top part of your hips or the lowest part of your back. Come into a modified boat pose. Bring your shins parallel to the ground or bring your toes to the ground. You're just going to hold a boat pose here. You can go for the full expression by extending your legs out long if your hamstrings will allow it. If you feel like you're crunching your spine or bending your spine a little bit, you can bend your knees as much as you need to. Take one more inhale, draw your knees in towards your chest. Exhale to slowly lower all the way down to the ground. Coming to fully lying on your back. We're not quite in Shavasana just yet. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your forearms around your shins. And maybe rock side to side or front and back. You can also grab your knees in your palms and make some circles to massage out your low back. As you're ready, you can bring the soles of your feet together, send your knees out wide, draw your heels in towards your hips for a supine butterfly. You can press your shins into press your forearms into your shins to send your knees out wider for a little bit more of a stretch. As you're ready, you can come into happy baby, stacking your heels over your knees, and either grab onto the outer edges of your feet or bring your first and middle fingers around your big toes, and maybe straighten into one leg and then the other. This is also an excellent place for expressive, playful breaths. So yeah, flutter of the lips, or maybe a loud sigh, or even a lion's breath. You can stick your tongue out, open your eyes wide, just release all the heat that's built up throughout the almost hour of class. If you're ready for your final Shavasana, it is totally ready for you. You can come to fully lying on your back, sending your feet out long in front of you, letting your toes spill open. Bring your hands either to rest at your sides or somewhere comfortable on your body. Close your eyes. Maybe let your lips part, let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. There's nothing else to do, no work to be done. As you are probably aware, we are a solely donation-based studio. Right now we're doing our classes online, so if you are able to, you can make a donation to our studio. Let us keep making these videos. Let us keep making these videos until the times when we can open our doors. And as always, we will end class with a quote and a ringing of the singing bowl. Once the bowl quiets and the music comes back up, or once the bowl quiets, class is over, but feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Today's quote is from Friedrich Nietzsche. The individual always has to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay. No price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself.